What's up, everyone? It's Jared. I wanted to put together a best reads of 2024 before it got too late in 2025. It's already January 9th. If I do it any later than this, I think that would be a little weird. It's kind of like when's the cutoff for wishing somebody a happy new year? So, I think there's a Seinfeld episode about that. But wanted to put this together before it got too late. Read a lot of great books in 2024. I really made it a point to step up, my focus on reading, really using it as a tool to pull away from like social media distraction and constantly getting wrapped up and pulled into YouTube spirals and things like that. So I read a lot of great books and really enjoying it and starting this channel to hopefully meet more people that like books and talk more about it. So let's jump right on in. Number 5 was Stephen King's The Shining. I was kind of surprised by The Shining because it's not like the movie at all, not even close. The movie took some very liberal, creative differences, different approach to how they did the movie compared to the book. The book was great. The writing style on it was something like I'd never seen. Very sporadic, kind of all over the place, which made it exciting, kind of challenging to read at sometimes, but it mainly made it exciting. It was completely different than what you'd expect, like in a normal novel. Not a very linear writing style. It was very cool. Highly recommend reading it. This is going to be number 5 for 2024. Number 4 was another Stephen King novel. I like Stephen King quite a bit, and it's just I kind of always a good base to go back to. Number 4 is Stephen King's Kujo. I'd also heard about this one too as being like one of his like quintessential novels to check out, to read. Dog gets rabies, goes crazy, kills a bunch of people, pretty much sums it up. I thought that was it. This book is heavy, emotionally taxing, especially the ending. The ending is it's downright sad, it's depressing, it's extremely heavy. After I read it, I remember like going downstairs, I was taking a shower, like, holy shit. Like, that was not what I was expecting. It was definitely heavy. So be prepared. I don't know how many times I just said heavy, but be prepared that if you're thinking it's like a wham bam, lots of fun about a fucking possessed dog, it's not. It's pretty intense. Number 3, this one's by my favorite author of all time. I've read all of his books multiple times, and I read, this is probably the 4th time I've read this one. It just makes me feel good. The descriptions for landscapes are incredible. Kind of really does the best job of painting a landscape, I think, than anybody that I've read. And this is probably my favorite novel by him. So this is probably my favorite novel of all time. I'm having a hard time thinking of another one that I'd read on the spot over this one. And that's going to be Travels with Charlie in Search of America by John Steinbeck. Absolute wonderful read. His observations of people and his ability to put them into words are second to none. The way he sees things, this one, it's not really a fictional novel, it's a nonfiction. Like, he's talking about himself and his road trip with his dog Charlie, and he's putting into words like what he's thinking, like while he's on this road trip, and he's sitting in cafes, and the descriptions of other people there and the people he meets along the way, and his insights into life. It's and getting older and already having success and kind of made it. It's just, there's nothing like him. There's nothing like a John Steinbeck novel. I mean, sometimes you're crying at the end of his novel. Sometimes you're throwing him against the wall. I mean, this one, it's a little better than some of those endings. And you may know what I'm talking about on some of his famous books. But if you haven't, I highly recommend giving this one a read. This is one of my favorite novels, if not favorite of all time. So what could have topped that? If that was my favorite novel of all time. These next two. Truman Capote's In Cold Blood comes in at number 2 for 2024. I'd seen the movie, the book. His prose and his ability to describe situations, his description ability it's beautiful the way that he describes stuff. It's really incredible. This is following a pretty gruesome multiple homicide that took place, and he goes into the town and starts getting involved with the case. And this is also not really a fictional story. This is a more of a nonfiction. And the story that he paints in it it's breathtaking. It's great. The movie did a great job following it pretty much to a T. It's a wonderful book. I'll be reviewing this and the other ones here. They'll each have their own individual. I'll go a little bit into more detail. But number 2 for the year, Truman Capote, In Cold Blood. Drum roll. Number 1. I was completely blown away by this book. I'd heard about this book from a podcast. I think Joe Rogan had the author on. I'd heard about it. I wanted to read it. I put it off for a long time. I'm talking about Chaos. Charlie Manson, the CIA, and the secret history of the 60s. This book will blow your wig back. If you think you know anything about the Manson murders, the Manson family, the CIA experiments, or things that were really going on in the 60s, you don't. Unless you were there. Unless you were part of it, maybe. If not, you don't know shit. This book will completely blow you away. It was great. A couple great things about this book is this is a nonfiction that doesn't read like a nonfiction. And what I mean by that is some nonfictions can seem very bibliographical with the sources and the sightings and putting too many people's names in, and they can't keep a story moving forward. It's all over the place. This is not like that. This paints the picture very well. There are a lot of characters involved in this book, but he does a great job. Tom O'Neill does with keeping everything wrangled together, so it's a very like one body of work, and it doesn't get bibliographical, which I really like. This will blow you away. This was by far my favorite read of 2024. I highly recommend picking this one up. Chaos, Tom O'Neill. There's my top 5 for 2024 on January 9th of 2025. I highly recommend checking those books out if you're looking to add to the list. I will be, like I said, reviewing all of these individually, just getting this channel up and running, and looking forward to talking with other people that really like literature. Tell me what you think about my list. Tell me if it sucked. Tell me if you thought it was great. Tell me what I was missing. I'm putting together a pretty lengthy reading list as is for 2025, and the more the merrier. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. And if you like the content, it's just me talking about books and hopefully talking with other people. We could set up maybe a book club is what I'm looking to do as well. So let me know if that's something you're interested. And if you like the video and the content, give me a like, give me a subscribe. And I'm going to try to be putting out a couple videos a week to catch up on all my 2024 books. So I'll be putting them into a review and my reading list for 2025. So a lot of content coming your way. So subscribe and keep up with me, and we'll go on this journey together. Until next time, thank you.